Arnold's son is finally stepping into his father's shoes.
I will be in Birmingham, England for the Arnold Classic UK.
Because after living most of his life in the shadows, when his father's secret affair got exposed in the media,
she did not deserve that, I can tell you. And that's why I felt always terrible about the whole thing.
Joseph Baena is ready to take the spotlight since he's got an uncanny resemblance with his father. With a massive frame, shredded back, and perfectly tanned skin, Joseph's a splitting image of Arnold, which is why he might just carry his legacy.
My father really inspires me. He kind of created the ideal physique for most people, and I'm speaking on behalf of most people.
However, he's had a pretty rocky relationship with his dad, because it took a while for them to warm up to each other, since Joseph didn't even want to take the Schwarzenegger name.
Well, I already have a last name. I don't have a problem with my last name. I like my last name.
Although that's not stopping Arnold's genes from shining through in Joseph's physique, especially since the two of them even train together, which means Joseph possibly gets some of the best one-on-one coaching in the world when it comes to bodybuilding.
So you bring the elbows down a little bit. Make sure you're focused on the chest.
Even though he didn't really compete at the Arnold Expo, Joseph might be setting the stage up for a future appearance in upcoming competitions, because after years of training relentlessly and building a killer physique, a lot of people think he's ready to carry the mantle. Can't wait to see him compete soon. He's such a throwback to the old days of bodybuilding. Although on the other hand, things just aren't the same anymore since the competition's way more intense. And with people like Sam Sulek or the Trend Twins, Joseph Baena's physique starts to look a little less impressive, because those guys look like massive juiced up freaks next to him. Not to mention that competing in Mr. Olympia might not be that easy for Joseph, since even Sam Sulek's taking his time with it.
Am I going to do a bodybuilding show? Eventually. How about that? I'll tell you this, eventually.
Although it's clear to see that Joseph's taking a more natural path and hasn't abused gear or steroids to achieve his physique, unlike most other fitness influencers. Despite that, Joseph's trying to carve out his own path instead of just following in his father's footsteps.
I know what I'm doing, and I know that I'm making my own path for myself.
It's easy to think that things are easy for him, but that couldn't be further from the truth, since he's been trying to step out of his father's shadow his entire life.
It's hard, but it's just something that you kind of have to live with and kind of have to accept and move past.
But what makes this funny is the fact that Joseph even wants to act just like his dad. So maybe stepping out of his shadow is going to be a little tricky for him if he wants to go down the exact same career path. Will Joseph ever become bigger than Arnold himself? Or do people just like him because he reminds them of the good old times?